Hi all. In our today's session, we will discuss about the inventory valuation. What is inventory valuations? What are the different pricing methods in inventory valuations? And what is split valuation? How we can configure the split valuation that we are going to discuss. So, what is inventory valuation? As I explained earlier in our previous sessions, SAP material management is divided into four components. One is procurement, another is inventory management, we have something called inventory valuation, and we have invoice verification, right? So these are the four major components of SAP material management. Now, in this one, we have something called inventory valuation. How we are going to evaluate our inventory? Okay, what is the calculations or logic to evaluate our inventory? That comes under inventory valuation. Now, whenever any valuated material is received into a stock or issued from a stock, the value of total stock is changed and recorded in the financial accounting. This process is called as inventory valuation. Okay, and we have different calculation methods to capture the inventory value. We have the moving average price and standard price, right? Before going to these pricing methods, let's understand what is valuation area. Okay, a valuation area is the organizational level at which materials are valuated, such as plant or company code level. In simple terms, at what level we are going to evaluate our material? Are we going to evaluate at plant level or are we going to evaluate at company code level? SAP always recommends to have the valuation area at plant level. Okay, see, SAP recommends that you evaluate materials at a plant level. Material valuation at plant level is mandatory if your system is retail system or if you want to use either production planning or product cost accounting components. Okay, so SAP always recommends to have the valuation at plant level, right? And this is a fundamental setting. Before we are starting implementations, at that time only we have to decide our valuation area should be a plant or a company core. If we made these settings, it's very difficult to reverse, right? So the valuation level is a fundamental setting and it is very difficult to reverse after it has been selected. So where we can configure the valuation area? So let us go to the SAP. See, SPRO, SAP reference IMG. Then I'll go to the material management. Sorry, I'll go to the enterprise structure. I'll go to the definition. I'll go to the logistic general. And here if you see, define valuation level. So here we need to mention our valuation area is a plant or valuation area is a company code. By default, it is valuation area at a plant. So in a company code, if you have two different plants, we can evaluate our material separately, right? So that's the reason normally we prefer to have the valuation area at plant level, right? And this is fundamental setting. We cannot reverse these settings once it is defined. Okay. So this is a valuation area. So whenever we are creating any new plant, that plant will also be referred as a valuation area because we have set the valuation area as a plant, right? Now, we have two pricing methods which helps to evaluate our inventory, right? How system calculates our inventory value. So there are two methods we have. One is the moving average price and another is the standard price. Let us discuss these pricing methods. First, moving average price. The moving average price is a weighted average price of a material and will change regularly if the PO prices of the materials are changed regularly. The price is calculated based on the total stock and total value using the following equation. In simple terms, it's an weighted average price. It will always average our price. The moving average price is an average price. So based on the total stock value and total stock quantity, system will calculate the moving average price. Normally, when we are using moving average price, any materials which we are continuously procuring from external sources, from the suppliers, right? So in that case, we normally use moving average price. Why? Because whenever we are procuring from the external sources, the price will always fluctuate. And we will get the average of that price, whatever price we have purchased, right? So we will get the average of that one. And based on that average price, we will evaluate our materials, right? So whenever we are purchasing any materials externally, means if particular materials we are procuring from externals, we will use the moving average price. Any materials which we are producing in-house, we will use the standard price. Why? That we'll discuss. Okay. Now, the price of external materials varied based on market. We will reflect the current market cost. Because of these reasons, we will use the moving average price for external procured materials like raw materials and trading materials. Right? Now, let us see how this moving average price is calculated. So for this reason, I'll just create one material, a fresh new material. So I can show you the complete picture. I'll go to the MM01 and I'll try to create a fresh new material. A normal material I'm creating. Okay. So I'll give my valuation class here. So I'll give valuation class 3000. Now here, if you see, there is a field called price control. And by default, it is showing V. What is meant by V? V is nothing but the moving average price. That is periodic unit price. And S means standard price. Okay. So why system is showing V by default? It is coming from my material type configuration. If I go to my material type configurations, to go to the OMS2, yeah, I'll choose my material type. See, in the material type configurations, we mentioned here the valuation, price control, right? And here we mentioned for material type ZRAW, the valuation method should be moving average price. If you maintain standard price, by default, it will show standard price for any materials which is related to material type ZRAW, right? Now, if you see, system has proposed this price control V, but I can change it here for a particular material. Possible. Okay. If I select this option, price control mandatory, in that case, whatever price control maintained here in the material types, that will be defaulted here and we cannot change it. Right? So I want to keep it V only. That is moving average price. I can maintain my moving average price, that is unit price here. Okay. For the time being, I'm maintaining 0 as a moving average price. That means I'm not maintaining any moving average price. Okay. So my material is created. So what we did, we have created our materials. Now let's see this example in our Excel file. Okay. So what we did, we have created one material 100331. Right? This is our material. So this is our material. Currently, what happens for this material? What is my current stock? This is newly created material, so my current stock is 0. Right? What is my current quantity? We have not purchased any quantity yet, so my quantity will also be 0. Correct? So what is my current MAP? We have not maintained any MAP in our material master, so my current MAP showing 0. Now what we are going to do? I'm going to create one purchase orders, okay, and for a quantity 100. Okay, PO price I'm going to use as 10. Okay, then I'll do the goods receipt for this 100 quantity. Okay. Once I do the goods receipt, what happens? It will generate a material document as well as accounting document, right? So the inventory account is going to be debited, and the GR account is going to be credited, right? BSX and WRS transaction keys are going to be hit. So what will be my total value? The total stock quantity will be 100 after GR. Total stock value, how much it is? It will be 100 into 10. That is 1000. So how we are calculating MAP? MAP equal to total stock value divided by total stock quantity. This is the formula we are using. Okay. So what is my total stock quantity? Total stock value 1000 divided by total stock quantity 100. So my MAP will be 10 at this case. Right? So system will update the MAP unit price as 10 in the material master. Now what next? We have created one more. Let's assume that we have created one more purchase order. This time, same thing. Okay. But instead of purchasing with 10, this time supplier has provided the material with 8 euro. Right? Now, we done the GR for 100 quantity. What will be the total stock quantity? Previously, we have 100 quantity in stock. And now again, we have purchased 100 quantity. So total quantity will be 200. Right? My previous stock value was 1000. Currently, I have purchased for 100 into 800. So total will be 1800. If I apply this formula now, what happens? My total stock value will be 1800 divided by 200. So my MAP will show as a 9. Right? So previously what happens? Previously this MAP shows as a 10. This time MAP is showing 9 because it is what it is doing. It is doing the average of your total stock and total stock value and total stock quantity. Right? So based on the goods movement, my MAP will always fluctuate. Right? Let's see this in SAP. So I have a material. So I'm going to create a purchase order now. My purchasing organizations, my purchasing group, my company code, my plant is EG00. Sorry, my plant is EBR. My PO quantity is 100 and I'm going to purchase with 10 euro. Right? I'm just creating a normal purchase order. So let me save it. Okay, I saved my purchase order number with 63. Let me do the goods receipt. goods receipt of purchase order 63. And I'll post my storage location. I'll give my storage location here. Item okay. I'll give my delivery note. Just everything is fine. I'm just going to check. And finally, I'll post it. So my material document is posted. Let's see the stock situations. I'll go to the MMB. I can see 100 quantities received. I can see my stock is updated with 100 quantity. Let me go to the material movements. This is the material document created. And if I go to the document info, I can see my inventory account is debited and GR account is credited. Okay. Now let's see the material master. So I'll go to the MM03. So you can see here my total value in accounting one view. I can see my total value is showing 1000. My total stock is showing 100, and my moving average is updated as 10. Right now, what I'll do, I'll create one more purchase order. This time, I assume that supplier is providing a materials with 80 euro. So taking time. So my supplier purchasing organization, my purchasing group, my company code, my plant. I'm going to purchase 100 quantity, but not with 10 euro. I'm going to purchase 80 euro. Why system is proposing 10 euro? It is taking from the last purchase order. We have seen this during our pricing procedure session, right? So I'll just save it. My purchase order is created. Let me do the goods receipt. So I'll go ahead and post a goods receipt. Let me click on check and I'll post it. So my material document is posted. Let me go back. Let me refresh my stocks. My stock is now reflecting as 200. The total stock received as 200. Let us go to the material movements. This is the material document posted. I will go to the document info, FI documents, and I can see my inventory value is updated as 800 because my purchasing price was 8, and my GRR clearing account is I will credited with 800. Right now, let's see the material master. So previously it was showing 10 as a moving average price because total stock was showing 1000, total stock quantity was showing 100. And let's just refresh it. And you can see my total stock value showing 1800, My total stock quantity is showing 200 and moving average price is reflected as 9 because it is a weighted average of your total value and total stock, right? So this is how our moving average price will always get fluctuated, right? Because the market price are not stable. So we are taking the average unit price, right? So whenever we are doing any external procurement for a particular materials, if you are following external procurement, it is advisable to use the moving average price control. Now this is not the only one case. One case to miss. This is not the only one case where this moving average price will update. There are different scenarios as well, right? So if you posted a goods receipt for full quantity with 10 euros, but supplier has provided the invoice for the 9 euros. In that case also, my moving average price will fluctuate. So different scenarios are there because of which the moving average price will get fluctuate, will change because it will reduce the total value of the stock, right? So if I summarize, what is moving average price? Moving average price is a weighted average price. It will always fluctuate based on the goods movement. Any goods movement if happen, which results to change in the stock values and change in the stock quantity, my moving average price will be fluctuate, right? And my material stock valuations will always updated based on the moving average price, correct? Now for one of the purchase orders, let's assume that we created one purchase order, right? That is 64. I will take 63. So for this one, supplier has submitted invoice. Let's assume that supplier has submitted an invoice. I'll go to the invoice. I'll try to post an invoice now with the transaction Myro. Invoice date, invoice reference, right? %15 tax I'm considering. So ideally my invoice amount should be 1150, right? In this case, my purchase order references is matching with my invoice amount, right? But let's assume that supplier has not provided the invoice for 1150. Supplier, instead of providing invoice for 1000, supplier has provided the invoice for the 800, right? So he's giving discount or some means he's giving an invoice for the 800 due to some reasons. So I'm just updating my invoice amount here 800, right? So here also I'll change my amount, which is 1920, I think. Yes, with tax amount, right? So I'm receiving the full quantity in invoice, okay? But I'm adjusting my amount, correct? So let's see how this will update our moving average price. My invoice document is posted. 10 is the invoice document. Let's open this invoice document. Let us go to the following documents. Ideally, my transactions should be like supplier account credited, GR account debited, right? As GRR will always take the prices from the PO, right? So GRR will be debited with 1000. Okay, because the PO price was 10 euro. We done the goods receipt with 10 euro, right? Salim Enterprise, because supplier has provided the invoice for 800 plus 120 as the tax. So 920 we are going to pay to the Salim Enterprise. So our supplier, right? The tax amount is going to the different account there, which is 120. So till now it is clear. But if we see here, our inventory account is getting credited because our invoice is not what we done the receipt, right? So the inventory account is getting credited. So my inventory's values is getting decreased, right? As my inventory value is getting decreased, my moving average price calculation will also gets impacted. So let's see how it is impacted now. I'll go to the MM03. If I go to the accounting, you can see now, previously my inventory value was 1,800 total inventory value, right? Now it is showing 1,600 because 200 is getting credited from this account, correct? Total stock value is 200 only, correct? 1,600 divided by 200, which is 8. Now moving average price is updated as 8. So this is another reason how this moving average price will fluctuate. There are another possibilities to fluctuate our moving average price, right? So different scenarios are there. So in short, my total stock value divided by total quantity will give me the moving average price, right? This is one of the method to calculate our inventory. Now, let me just check one of the table. If I get, and let me just check this one. Yeah, you can see here, you will get the history. Not an update. Okay. So these are the different cases of the moving average price, right? Now let us discuss about the standard price. What is standard price? So standard price is nothing but it is always fixed action. Means if we want to evaluate our materials with a fixed price, we should use the standard price. If we know what is the cost of this material, right? In that case, we normally use standard price. When we know the cost of the material, when we do our in-house production, then only know, right? This to prepare this to produce one product, we need this much of cost, right? So normally standard price, when we use the standard price, whenever we produce any materials in-house, we use for that materials, we use the standard price because we know the costing of that particular material, right? So we want to evaluate our materials with a fixed price. Okay. Now, due to some reason, if we are purchasing that material from external source, for example, supplier, right? And if supplier is giving us with a different price, not with the standard price, right? In that case, whatever difference is there, that difference will goes to the price difference account. Let's see this example in a sec. Let me create one new fresh material. My plant. So if you see, my price control is showing S because this particular material, right, Z semi-finished, right? This material types having the price control as S, standard price. So by default, it is coming as, means it is proposed as S, that is standard price, right? And I can change it here for a particular material. I can go and I can change it here. Possible, right? If I keep that price control indicator mandatory, then it will be defaulted. It will not allow me to change it here, right? Now I'm maintaining here my price control as S, and I'm also mentioning that my standard price will be 8, right? So normally how these prices will be updated with a costing run, right? So we have two types of concepts. One is the actual costing, okay, and another is material ledger. So with the help of these two costing methods, the standard price gets updated in a material master, right? So every month there is the activity from the costing team. They will help us to update these prices according to the calculations and according to the average. Okay. So Currently, I'm maintaining my standard price manually here in the material master. So my material master is created. Now, I mentioned that my material is going to be evaluated always with 8 euro. Now, due to some reason, I have the high demands from the customers and all, and I'm not able to produce these materials in-house, right? So I need to purchase this material from external sources. So I decided to purchase 100 quantities, but supplier mentioned that he will provide only with the 10 euro. And I'm okay with that one, so I'm going to purchase now. So I'll go to the purchase order screens. I'll provide my supplier code, my purchasing organizations, purchasing group. I'll mention my material number. I'll give my, I'll just search for my material. Started with 2 series. Yeah, 20020. This is my material. Okay. I'm giving my plant. I mentioned I'm going to purchase 100 quantity and my purchasing price is 10. I'm not talking about valuation price. I'm just talking about the purchasing price in the PO, right? So we have different prices. Purchasing price is different concept. Valuation price is different purpose and means different price. And the sales price is a different purpose and different price. Okay. So this is the purchasing price. I'm going to purchase with 10 euro. I'm going to save it. My purchase order is created. Let me post a goods receipt. Goods receipt 65 is my purchase order number. Right. And I'll give my storage location. Everything is fine. I'm posting it. So it's getting time to post it. Okay, my material document is posted. Let us go back to the material document display 34. So this is a material document we posted. Let us go to the document info. Let us see how the inventory valuation gets captured. So what happened? We have purchased a material with 10 euro, 100 quantity, right? If you consider based on the purchasing price, my inventory account should update with 1000, 100 into 10, right? But no, system has updated the inventory account with 800. Why? Because we mentioned this material will follow the standard price process and the standard price is 8 euro. So 100 into 8, 800 will be updated as means our inventory valuations is updated with 800 euro. My GRR account always take the prices from the PO, that purchasing price. So my GRR account is hit with 1000 credit. So 800 debit, 1000 credit. There is a difference of 200. That 200 will go to the price difference account. Right? So this is a standard price. My inventory valuations will always update with a standard price. If I go to the material master, you can see my total value is 800. My standard price is 8. Correct? So my inventory valuations will be updated according to the standard price maintained in the material master. If there is a difference between the standard price maintained in the material masters and the purchasing price, the difference amount will get posted in a price difference account. Right? So this is our standard price. Right? So now in our next sessions, we will discuss about the split valuations. I hope these sessions related to the inventory valuations, moving average price and standard price are useful to you. Thank you so much.